Here's Cano, 4 for 18 career against Sanchez.
Is this the best weather day of the year so far?
Well, it is weather day.
Yeah.
Doug Cameron and all his buddies from Channel 4 here today for the kids. A lot of kids in the upper deck, right field side. 2-0. Laz Diaz, 24th year in the big league, has the plate. Tony Randazzo at first. Crew chief, there he is. Jeff Nelson at second. Corey Blazer at third. Some breezes blowing over toward the right field corner. And time given to Cano.
Does the crew chief boss around the rest of the umpires off the field too?
That's a good question.
You just run the.
I would assume they have to wait on him hand and foot.
Yeah. Get me a cup of coffee.
Have to talk to the umps about that sometime. Do the junior members have to get the Ubers and all that stuff to get around town and
book the travel
out of town? 3-0, and it's up in the zone for a strike. And just as I mentioned, Brewers, Phillies, Milwaukee is struck for a first inning run.
Well, I got to check and see if it's a Yelich homer.
I was just checking the same thing. Right side, and Howie makes him play it. Second base for the first time in almost a month. 1-2-3. Good news for Sanchez. Here come the Nats against Zach Wheeler. Five runs on 9 hits last night. It all starting with an Adam Eaton walk in the first inning. Robles and Rendon follow him, but Adam, look at these numbers. 9 for 15 against Zach Wheeler. 3 walks, a couple of RBIs. So Howie in there at second. Gerardo Parra back in the lineup, first base. Suzuki and then Wilmer Difo. Wheeler 4-9 career, 15 starts against the Nats.
Yeah, 2 games against the Nats this year as you look at the velocity on the fastball. 9 2/3 innings, 11 earned runs, a 10.24 ERA in his 2 starts against the Nationals this season. 9 strikeouts, 8 walks in those 2 starts. But the last 2 starts for Zach, he's been dialed in. 21 strikeouts and just 2 walks in his last 2.
This guy's got a great arm when he's healthy. Tommy John surgery 4 years ago. Didn't pitch 15 or 16. But Zach Wheeler can bring it when he's right. 58 strikeouts, 19 walks in 50 innings. Little tapper off to the left side on the charge. J.D. Davis with the bare hand. Safe is the call. And the Mets are going to have a look at it. Mickey Callaway had his right arm up just as Tony Randazzo made that call.
All right, DK. Let's check it out again. He looked out to me up here, but I think we're going to play on, and I think he's safe.
And
there goes the no-hitter. Swinging bunt by Adam Eaton. Thanks, Carp. Day game after night game. I'm still sleeping. The boys aren't. They're ready to play. Pretty good play by J.D. Davis to make it that close at third. I thought that was a knock all the way.
you had to wait for the second batter last night, so you're getting spoiled again.
Yes.
And I like it. So here's Robles, who pushed that bunt to the right side after the Eaton walk last night.
Do it again.
Hasn't seen Wheeler a whole lot, and he did square for a second. 2 for 4. Victor against Zach with an RBI. Nothing like scoring first.
Check it out, though, what he's doing in the infield. You got Davis in over here. You got Cano cheating over here, even though he's at double play depth. But you're opening up holes for a ground ball to get through, actually, just by a base hit bunt last night and showing here.
And Robles goes Soto after that take. That was the shuffle from the right side of the plate. I don't know if that fastball inside scared him a little bit.
I think it did.
97 will do that. Take a look at some stats with Lowe's on Victor. Where he ranks on the ball club. Second in hits to Eaton, extra base hits. Second in the league in stolen bases.
And if you had Victor Robles leading the Nats in homers in the middle of May, you win. I did not.
And a lot of that's thanks to the Mets. A lot of folks still coming in. 1 and 2 to Robles with Eaton aboard. Left side perfectly placed. So Eaton and Robles the last 2 nights 4 for 4 getting on base in the first inning.
Bring him in with the fake bunt, slap it by him, open up some holes. That's what I'm talking about. Line moving here in the bottom of the first. Couple of knocks in a row. Here comes the Met killer himself.
Yeah, he got the big hit after these 2 were aboard last night when Anthony Rendon lined that double over the head of Juan Lagares in center. Brandon Nimmo playing him pretty deep out there.
Just watching guys pitch within the division, fascinating to me. Remember Zach Wheeler's first start on March 31st against the Nats? He gave up 4 runs on 6 hits over 5. His quotes in the paper were, hey, I got a little too fastball happy in my first start. I'm going to change things up. Well, maybe overthought it his next start at Citi Field, where he gave up 7 runs on 4 hits in 4 2/3. So what do you do now is my point.
Yeah.
Which way do you go? Do you go back to a lot of fastballs? Do you mix it up like he did the second time where he got knocked around at Citi Field? That's the interesting part of pitching in your division. Already 3 starts against the same team, a lot like Patrick Corbin.
Or you say, don't quote me.
Or you don't tell the media what you're going to do.
That was funny. I remember you remarking about that.
All right, defense for the Mets today. McNeil, Nimmo, Conforto, the outfield. Rosario Davis, left side. Cano Smith, right side. Tomas Nido. Bandito behind the plate.
And for those of you who heard our little conversation, top of the first, yes, Christian Yelich did hit a homer for Milwaukee. His 17th in the first inning at the bank. 0-2 to Rendon. He's going to drop one into left center. Eaton reads it and scores. Robles reads it and goes over to third. A lot like what these 3 did last night, and the Nats are on the board immediately.
All right, little 3-pitch at bat. Let's check it out. Fastball away, fouled off. 99. This one's 97. And this one was thrown in there, 97. And they're going to tell me in my ear what it left at. But either way, a base hit. Nats up 1-0.
Now Juan Soto. And last night in a situation with second and third, first pitch, he hit a grounder out to Rosario for an RBI. Juan is 2 for 11 with a couple of walks against Wheeler, looking for his first RBI against this righty. Mets scored first Tuesday, the Nats scored first Wednesday and Thursday. Target in. And looking that way, all the way down and in, ball 3.
Oh, let it rip.
Soto does, and it's high in the air, foul, other side.
Green light. I like it. Aggressive.
Soto leads the team in RBIs with 24, but suddenly has a lot of company. Howie 23. Rendon to 21 now. Way inside, and the bases are loaded for Howie Kendrick.
Line moving. Do you ever get into those ruts when you can't hit a green light? You know, you're driving and everywhere you go, it's a red light. And you're like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I'm in a life slump right now. I cannot catch a green light.
Well, go drive over in Pentagon City and you'll know what that's all about.
It's just like, and then, you know, when things are going good, you can't hit a red light. You're like, oh, I'm just cruising, another green, another green.
Hey, when I go home from the ballpark after one of our trips and it's 2 in the morning, I still can't make a green light over there.
And that's the worst because nobody's up. There's not a car on the road and you're sitting at a red light.
Come on. And I better stay under the speed limit over there from here on after that. So Wheeler against the Nats this year and career. I mean, the numbers don't lie. The Nationals hitting .271 against him. Walks, hits per innings pitched, almost 1.5. Make today the day at PNC. And Howie's trying to do that right now to put an early stamp on this one. Inside, Wheeler falls behind. Howie last night. First time up, RBI single up the middle. Second time up, almost knocked over the Geico sign adjacent to the scoreboard in right center.
That's the best count to hit in right here. 1-0. Lock into your pitch and give it a ride.
He didn't get a fastball.
It used to be the best count to hit in.
So Victor Robles, clean single through the infield to left. Rendon dropped the flare into left center, and then Juan Soto walked on a 3-1 pitch.
It's fancy. I like it.
Howie takes it low, skipped into the mid of Tomas Nido. Last night, first inning, Wilmer Font, 30 pitches. With nobody out, Wheeler's at 20. Long pause, and the hitter had to ask for time there. And protecting on 2-2. Gene Segura just homered, and the Phillies tie the Brewers in the first inning. Busted bat, slow roller, a run scores. Mets will turn a 6-4-3, and the Nats lead 2-0. Rendon ends up at third.
You sit right here and you got your 3-run first, just like last night.
Parra as a net, 2 for 14 with the grand slam, playing in his 5th ball game. 5 for 12 against Wheeler, good success. Fastball away.
You know what the sneaky key last night is, looking at my scorecard? The Nats only struck out 5 times. They put the ball in play.
They did.
And
maybe one of the top 2 strikeout offenses in the league this year.
well, they're first in the National League in 115 strikeouts looking coming into last night, and second in all of baseball. So there's been an emphasis recently, as far back as yesterday, to put the ball in play.
2-1 to Parra. He's going to jack one to right center. One hopping the scoreboard, and the Nats do lead 3-0 again. Every one of his hits have meant something. A game-winning grand slam, a hit that broke up a no-hitter, and now an RBI 2-out knock.
Bob, all your hits mean something. Some just mean more than others.
Means a lot.
Don't offend hits. 2-out hits, though, are huge. And there's your 3-0, just like last night.
Kurt Suzuki is next. And for Parra, his 11th RBI, 5th as a Nat. Kurt 2 for 4 against Wheeler career. Pattern of falling behind here in this inning.
Yeah, that and the fastball doesn't look like it's 98, 99 when it gets to home based on reading swings right now. And sometimes it's 97, 98 out of the hand, and by the time it gets to home plate, it's not spinning like when you released it, and it seems hittable.
That ball is crushed in the corner, off the top of the wall. Parra scores. Suzuki into second. 4-0 Nationals.
That's what I'm talking about. Offense is cool. 4 runs in the first. Kurt Suzuki seems like he's always ready to hit. Just missed a tater by that much. Knocked down the Budweiser sign and right. The line's moving. Standing ovation. 4 runs in the first inning and counting. 102.1 mile an hour, 2-out double. Yes.
Second walk of the inning as Defoe gets the free pass. Anibal Sanchez gets to bat after throwing 14 pitches in a 1-2-3, top of the first. He has 3 hits this year, 7 career runs batted in.
But the Nats rarely take batting practice on a day game after a night game. They took batting practice today on the field. Usually hitting the cage, just do some drills, get loose.
And Wheeler's got it. So he's going to go 30 pitches in the first inning. This time, the Nats have 4 on that scoreboard.
Well, talking last night's win with Howie Kendrick, he took it with a very business-like approach. He said, it's great we got the win, but it's time to forget about it and move on tomorrow. And the key for us is to be consistent. Well, guys, it's safe to say his message was heard loud and clear, because he said last night, we've got to have the same attitude. Attack pitches at the plate. When runners are in scoring position, we got to drive them in. He added, change the tone early in games. Put pressure on the defense. That's how we want to play.
Well said by Howie. Thank you, Alex. And the Nats have certainly done that now. The last 2 games, 7 runs on 8 hits in last night's and today's first inning.
Well, we talked about that last night, that, you know, the high highs with the win and the low lows with the loss, you got to be even keeled over 6 months. And last night was great, but you got to come out and do it today again and the next day. And that's what being consistent is your approach on a daily basis, the process. And you look up after a while and you'll be back to 500, you'll be back in this thing. But there's no days off now. You know, the Nats in the past would win the first 3 games of a series, and maybe the 4th game come out, you know, not the best effort in the world. We've seen the past in the teams that won 97, 98 games. But now when you dig yourself a hole, Carp, you got to come out on fire every single day and be consistent in your approach.
Well, it's happening. Now Sanchez back to work. Michael Conforto leads off, top of the 2nd. Nats have held him to a walk and a base hit in the series. So he changed his eye level there with a fastball at 89. And it's 0-2. Shift on. Howie not in right field, though, pretty shallow. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting. Lowest run support. Sanchez got 6 runs his first time out. Nowhere near that since, until moments ago. So Madison Bumgarner, the guy getting the least support from his offense.
Well, he's got a bat. Do something.
As a rule, he does.
If Madison Bumgarner doesn't like it, hit home runs. He can hit them.
1-2. Got him. Conforto gave up on it. Sanchez gets the edge. 2nd strikeout.
Check out the pitch. Called 3rd. Little 2-seam runner. Good frame by Kurt Suzuki to get the call.
And Max Scherzer knows, with a robot calling that pitch, that couldn't have been framed. That was a really interesting conversation he had with Alex as part of Nats Extra pregame today. And you can check out the full conversation, as Dan said, on MASNsports.com.
Yeah, the art of catching. One of our favorite parts of watching Kurt catch is stealing strikes back there, presenting pitches in a way that they look better than they really are.
And you can hear the breeze up here blowing through our microphones. Wind has shifted a bit, coming more in from the north now rather than cross from left to right. J.D. Davis, the hitter, he had their only RBI last evening. That was the double in the third after Patrick Corbin had walked Jeff McNeil, had a little glitch as far as control for about 2 hitters, and then righted the ship in a hurry. And he was untouchable the rest of the night. Well hit the other way. Eaton to his right to cut it off. Momentary bobble gets it right back in, and the Mets have their first base hit.
All right, Sunday, May 19th is Youth Baseball and Softball Day, presented by Inova Children's Hospital. Join your fellow youth baseball and softball teammates at Nats Park as the Nats take on the Cubs Sunday night, 7:05. To get your tickets, visit nationals.com/special ticket.
There's Brandon Nimmo.
Oh, there's a good hat right there. Just don't pull it over your head. You'd be in big trouble.
Future transparent chefs of America. Pop up first pitch straight back. Off the bat of Brandon Nimmo. His first 3 years in the big leagues, a .264 hitter. Got off to a slow start against the Nats, and right now he's at .202.
Your kids will make hats out of anything, right? We've seen gloves as hats, shirts as hats, but I've never seen the plastic bag as a hat. That was cool.
That was creative.
I like it.
Up and in, 1-1. Defoe shaded well up the middle. Howie double play depth right side. And now with 2 strikes, Anthony Rendon will take a stroll out towards short. And that'll move Defoe now to the other side of second base. Outfield, left and center, a bit the other way. Nimmo 1 for 4 career against Anibal Sanchez. The Nats have turned 26 double plays. This guy can run. They'd have to be quick.
But J.D. Davis can't. He has 1 stolen base in his career, and they've thrown over a bunch.
2-2.
Not sure why.
Now it goes to 3-2. Runner goes.
Down by 4, putting the runner in motion on a 3-2 count, 1 out. Mickey Callaway sure that Brandon Nimmo is going to put the ball in play with a guy that has 1 stolen base in his career.
Nimmo struck out 140 times last year. 47 so far this season.
Maybe Sanchez not a strikeout pitcher. That's an aggressive play for me. They need base runners right now.
He's going again. Ball 4. Well, Anibal's teammates just handed him a 4-run lead. Didn't want to do that. And now Rosario, the number 7 hitter.
He's hurt.
Uh-oh.
Gerardo Parra is waving out Paul Lessard right now, and something's going on.
I see Joe Ross starting to flex.
He knows he's really hurt. He's frustrated. He knows it's serious. Oblique. Yeah, they're not even talking to him. He knows he's done.
He'll pitch an inning and a third, 2 strikeouts, a base hit, and then something happened either during the walk to Nimmo or before, but Anibal Sanchez is done in his 9th start.
Well, let's see if we can pick something up. Kind of hunches over after the pitch. Didn't really see anything there.